Hi, y'all.
How's it going?
How are y'all doing?
We're okay.
Last night was a rough, but
Were y'all able to watch the episode together, or were y'all not together to watch it?
no, we don't live close.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like in San Diego County, and I'm like in the Inland Empire.
Okay.
So I was like, it's fine. We were voice memoing the whole time, so it's fine.
Oh my gosh. Well, we
We
are.
wanted the moral support, but it just couldn't logistics out.
Well, we are sad to see the two of you go because we loved the spirit you brought to the race. We could tell that you were both having fun and that you were appreciating the experience together, which I think is so important about the Amazing Race. I want to know from just like the beginning, how did this opportunity kind of come to you? Did you apply? Were you always fans of the show, or did someone reach out to you on social media?
Well, we've always been fans of the show, but the race has been reaching out for the past 4 years, ever since I made Rams, and they really love the story. They originally wanted me and my male teammates, and I was like, I'm trying to win $1 million, not trying to just have like, I have a person that I have in mind, and they were so against it, and I was like, they're like, we have male and females before, and I was like, I don't care. This is literally who I'm racing with. So if you want me, I'm racing with Mattie, and this is it. And then boom, like it was just go right after that, and literally I said it yesterday, but I wouldn't have raced with anybody else.
Yeah, I think partner is so important with the Amazing Race. So I'm happy you stuck your ground because I think the two of you made such a great team and it showed.
Especially if you already knew that you wouldn't work well with your other team.
That's the thing. Listen, Quinton doesn't do well listening to others. Like, he doesn't let other people tell him what to do. That's just who he is, and he's extremely stubborn. The difference with me is that he came into being a Rams cheerleader with me as his captain.
Yeah.
So that was the dynamic of him coming onto the team. So he had to listen to me. It was our job for him to listen to me. So I think he recognized that when he was thinking about coming on the race. He made the right choice. He said, I will not listen to anybody, but I kind of listened to Mattie. So
So when you got the initial phone call, what was the planning and preparation process for the two of you? How did you train for the show?
we trained before we got the call because we didn't get the call until less than 3 weeks before we had to leave. The only thing we really held off on was, less than 3 weeks, was the buying the backpacks, because those are like $300, and I'm not going to spend $300 on a backpack unless I get on.
Right.
But as far as preparation goes, I studied a lot of the race. I am a recent fan, so I went all the way back and I studied all of the episodes, as many seasons as I could watch, took notes on them, listened to all the recap podcasts, learned every flag of the world.
Yes.
Quinton kept us stylish.
We were in the gym, I've been watching since like Lieutenant and Joyce way back.
Yes. And now there's seasons on Netflix.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Like, so we've been fans for a while. And just being able to kind of like, okay, how do you want to run a race? Who do you want to race like who's your favorite teams, or like that kind of stuff? Being able to talk about that stuff together was cool. And then to actually like be a part of this history, like there's not many of us, y'all. Like there's even fewer of y'all.
Small group.
Yeah, it's a small group, but it's a very fun family. So welcome to the family. You went back and you rewatched seasons. You've been a fan. So when you get to the starting line and Phil says, this is going to be a season of firsts, there's no non-eliminations, what went through your mind in that moment?
And the scramble.
And the scramble. Yes, of course, the scramble.
I was fine with the scramble. I was nervous about it. We talked about the non-elimination legs because everybody has a bad day. You can't help it. Unfortunately, we had a couple, but the worst one was last night's episode. But like my asshole dropped out of my stomach. Like I was like, that was like, I was like, oh my gosh. Like I was hoping to have at least one chance to get like redemption, but no. Yeah, that was real. That was real.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, watching it back too, I kind of wish there was redemption, not just for us, but I kind of miss that aspect of the show where you're so attached to a team and you're like, no, and you're fighting for them to stay. And then they get that second chance. I kind of do miss it. But as a competitor, we appreciated the no non-eliminations
Right.
because it's like, you gotta fight. You gotta race every leg like it's your last leg, right?
Agreed. I mean, because on our season, the girls got the non-eliminations both times. So it's like it takes up that non-elimination for another team who might have a bad day and want that kind of second chance. So I do also see it from the other side, though. You're right. From a competition standpoint, if you're last, you're last. And that's just how it should be.
One more's gone, it's fine with me. But
exactly, we're closer to the middle.
Yeah, I agree. I miss the cliffhanger of like all the teams showing up to the mat, and then are they gonna stay? Are they gonna go home? I like that a lot. But yeah, all season it made it way more competitive, and I think the teams, as you're going through the race, were all like in the zone, and then it was just when people had really bad days that they would be eliminated. So I thought it was really competitive.
Yeah. Let's talk about last night's episode. How was it reliving it? And was there anything about your experience in Toulouse that you wish would have been shown for us as viewers?
Yes. The biggest thing that was left out is that we got pulled over by the French police. And
French policemen. Don't leave that out. I was like,
because apparently he ran a red light, which like the lights are so small. They're so small. They're like in the bottom corner. We didn't see it. We saw the lights, the police lights come up behind us, and Quinton goes, Mattie, I think I need to get over for the police to come through. And he was like, wait, is that for me? I was like, no, you haven't done anything wrong. And then it was us.
No. Do you think that added more time into like why you guys fell behind, or was it just the navigation?
Yeah, how long was the police talk?
So that's the police talk. He gave us a full lesson of what red and green meant. Red, no. Green, go.
Yeah. Like your kindergartners.
Yes. And it was a full 30 minutes. Yeah. And this happened after the roadblock, after rugby. So it was a very big setback for us because we did take a wrong street to get to the rugby challenge, and we did struggle there, but we weren't out at that point. We saw Aubrey and David. It was the confidence hit when we got pulled over, and then after we got pulled over, that's when you see us stuck with the barricades in the
And how long were you stuck behind those barricades? Because it looked like they like went down eventually.
No.
Did you have to go back?
So he pulled past one, and then that one came up. We're like, okay, well, the only way we can go is forward. Like, so let's keep driving. Anyway, in this little Capitol Mall area. And then the next one came up, and we're like, oh, fuck, how do we get out of this? So I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, I'll wait for somebody to press it. Maybe it's like a stop walk or crosswalk situation. No, so we're there for like a while. Like
we didn't understand. So I Google mapped it, and we get 90% of the way to the detour, and then there's a split off, which happened to us multiple times. It's like those little split offs, and it would have gone right within 5 minutes. We would have parked in the marked parking, but we bent to the left instead. And our method in our head is like, try the road, and if not, you go back to where you made the mistake and then take the right road. But that little mistake was a one-way, and those barricades, the first barricades were already down. But then once we drove over there, they went up. So then we were just stuck and not understanding what that was. We didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of like, do we need to sit here and wait for it to go back down? No, we had to call people and figure it out.
So who do you call?
Little intercom people. Like, I guess we figured it out.
Bonjour.
Yeah, no kidding.
It just sucks though, because we literally, even after all of that, the debauchery and the craziness of that leg, we only lost by like 3-4 minutes. And that's what's so frustrating. Like, yes, like we were, as we were running down the canal, we had just got to the dirt part of it. We see getting off. Because we had already saw the pit stop earlier when we were driving to the stadium. We're like, oh, that's where we have to go later. So I was like, oh, we didn't and that's what hurt more to me. Like, I would rather lose by a landslide. Like, Mattie, but I want Phil to come get me from the pit stop. Let's be embarrassing. Like, let's like, you know what I mean? Like, let's like have him leave the pit stop to come get us. But to lose that quick, like by that close of a margin,
especially when you know that there's things like that really messed you up, and you would have been so far ahead. Like, you wouldn't have been like even remotely in the back if you like didn't get pulled over or the barricades weren't there. Like that's crazy.
like,
and back to your like, how does it feel watching it back? We've been sitting on this for months, and it's kept us up at night. And it's that you guys have done this, and you know that there's so many what ifs. Like, what if we just went right? If we just bent right, even with getting pulled over, we could have been in it still. And that's
an entire leg though, like that entire race. Like, we had so many legs that like Austria was meant for us to win. We left in the first group. You had a singing challenge and a dance challenge. It took everybody else 20 times. We knocked it out, in and out. You know what I mean? Couldn't get there. You know, same thing with freaking Petra. Like, I do the roadblock within 30 seconds. I see Molly and Emily as we're driving, and our driver decides to, oh, we're gonna go this way instead. And I was like, this is our like leg to win. Like, that's when it gets frustrating. And like a little demoralizing. And yes, we made our mistakes, like duh, but like it just sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can agree with most of the viewers. We saw a lot of people on social media say how like severely under-edited the two of you were. So I want to know if there's anything the viewers can take away from just watching the two of you, your dynamic, your experience on the race. What would that be?
Like what you actually did see?
Yes, like just anything that people can walk away with just from watching the two of you on the show.
Trust each other. That's if you're going to learn something good from us on the race, I think it's the trust that we had for each other, specifically entering into roadblocks, which could easily get super stressful for that one teammate that feels like they have the entire race on their shoulders. We did a good job in keeping each other's spirit and energy up, and everything was always a positive and very like goal oriented. And I think you could see that, like, you know, putting emotions to the side in Austria, because once it came to the challenges, we got through it, and it wasn't until we stood on the mat that we both started crying and we just like let it out. But in that moment, it's like, come together and trust each other. Let's get through it.
Yeah. The one thing that I loved about the two of you was, even in the moments where you got lost or you were in the wrong country or whatever was happening, you were having so much fun with it. Like, you were making it like, I don't know, comical, but also being so calm with each other.
Well, even last night, you know, with you, Quinton, you were like, I'm having a moment, but like, you just let yourself have that moment, and then you still got back into it. Like, you didn't let it, from our perspective at least, kind of
like, it wasn't between the two of you. It was always like, it's us against what's in front of us.
Yeah.
Like, you never bickered with each other, which I love watching teams who can, I don't know, work really well together, balance each other really well, and not like eat each other a lot.
That deep for us, you know. I think that's why we're best friends. Like this, I didn't have to worry about us getting a divorce if we fought on the race. Like, I was like, okay, we'll handle that. I'm trying to find the guys on the race. Like, it's fine. Cameraman Adam is fine. How's it going? But it was always, we went into it knowing that we just wanted to have a really good time. And if worse comes to worse, and if we do get kicked out, I don't want people to think that we were some assholes. I don't want us to be the villains. Like, I just show who we are. And that's what I think at the end of the day, I think they did do a good job editing that part. Which more, to be honest.
What was shown of us was very true to who we were.
Oh, I loved your aerial. I loved your leg grabbing those nails and pulling them closer.
Oh, he was eating it. Eating it up.
I love. So good.
Well, like we said, you two were a joy to watch, and we hope that this experience for the two of you was everything you wanted it to be. And hopefully our paths will cross in the near future. And welcome to the Amazing Race family.
Thanks, guys.
See y'all very soon.
Yes.